We'll move on to Mr. Aparecido. And of course, here we see a lifetime public servant who's spent his career working on how do you improve the lives of the people, and there are 41 million under his watch right now. Mr. Aparecido, Brazil is a rapidly growing, large democracy with limited resources for public works. Can you tell us some of the governance challenges in a large country like this that has federal and state and municipal roles? Could you talk about some of the ways that you've gotten encouraged private investment in public infrastructure in this context?
Thank you very much. Brazil is a federation of 27 states with more than 5,500 districts. A country that was a rural has gone from rural. The state of São Paulo is the 12th economy in the world. We have a network of cities. The urban space where work and live 31 million of the inhabitants of the space of the state of São Paulo. In these regions, 96% of the population live in urban areas, and 80% live in metropolitan regions. So two of our great challenges, we have to re-qualify the urban territory and dynamize this territory and develop it, and also invest strongly in infrastructure. We have $60 billion invested in 4 years until 2015, and this investment will give us, will allow us to change the way people move around from individual transport to public transport. We deal with 10,000 million passengers every day. And there is a commitment by São Paulo to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions from 15,000 tons. This is an extremely important decision. The second investment in terms of infrastructure relates to sanitation, so that we can give these regions treatment of water and treatment of sewage and treatment of solid waste. And finally, in terms of logistics, in these regions we have 3 of the largest airports in Latin America. One of them is a fundamental area, is the logistic of all this region that needs to be adequate to the challenge that it faces. If we depended only of the public sector to face this challenge, we wouldn't be able to provide solution for these issues. Therefore, the São Paulo government is looking for the partnerships between the public and the private, a growth in terms of investment, $20 million to improve logistic transport. We have an experience in terms of in the health department. The first decision in the direction of giving this help, this metropolitan areas competitive, fight poverty, enhance the our educational infrastructures. We will invest around $1.5 million. So it is fundamentally that we give this territory a requalification and a dynamism of development. The second question, and this is something innovator in terms of the structure, administrative structure in the country of Brazil, is to create a new planning instrument that will enable us to plan all these actions between the state and all the districts. In Brazil, 62% of taxes are concentrated on the federal government, 23% on the state, and around 13% at the district level. most of the service public are responsibility of the districts. So there is a structure of administration and planning, and that needs to be articulated, and to face these great challenges at a different scale. These two questions are critical in the sense of we being able to prepare the state for a better quality of life. If we adopt the without adopting a partnership between the public and the private sector, we will never be able to achieve these challenges. We'll never be able to be competitive enough. They achieve a sustainability. We are now creating a huge social environmental program where 605,000 families are being moved from forest areas and into other regions, and there is a great investment in infrastructure, in housing, and in and the question of governance, which is a new question. Then all the powers need to be articulated.
Thank you. Can I ask you a follow-up, please, Mr. Aparecido, with respect to private investment? And I'm curious about whether your emphasis is on private investors in the actual infrastructure, like a road or a water plant, or if the emphasis is on getting private investors to come to do business that creates jobs, the way that Keppel came and invested in the shipbuilding plant. So the question is whether you'd like private sector to come do their own business, or whether you'd like private sector to come invest in some of the elements of infrastructure.
Opinion, the state must be play a main role in building the policies of development and to regulate the relationship between the public and the private sector. The policy of companies
pays a toll for the road.
In the area of sewage, the same situation is observed. We have a challenge by 2020 we need to have good water and also treat sewage. The private initiative builds the infrastructure and receives the subsidy from the state and from the population in order to sustain this development. In terms of this is a serious problem. That waste is a responsibility of the district, but the state is the one that has the power to invest in with part housing, sewage, are international loans. We have the participation of Chinese companies, Singaporean companies, Spanish companies, American, and from all other parts of the world. They have their businesses in Brazil, in São Paulo in particular, and they introduce private resources and invest in the public domain.
Good. Thank you. I'd like to go a little bit out of order, Mark, and come back this way and ask Mr. Chu a question. There's discussion of foreign investors investing in the infrastructure projects, roads, bridges, or investing in the businesses, shipbuilding and things like that. Is Keppel interested in investing in these long view infrastructure type projects, or have you found it to be more beneficial to invest in the local businesses?
We concentrate on investing in the business we know. We do not know the business of roads and toll roads or bridges, and we are interested in our offshore marine business. That's what we do. We're developing properties for lease or for sale. These are things that we know how to do.